Alphonso Grennell, welcome to Profile.
Thank you.
So you're Managing Director of Grennell's Driver Safety Training and Services Limited, also Grennell's Driving School. And I don't want to get all of these details wrong, so I'm going to refer to my phone. That has been in operation for over 24 years.
Yes.
Only established training center in Jamaica for the National Road Safety Council.
No, not the National Road Safety Council, the National Safety Council.
The National Safety Council, I'm sorry.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Graduate of the Jamaica German Automotive School, the College of Science, Arts and Technology, CAST, now the University of Technology, and you have a professional career that's included working for Beaches Auto Repairs and Supplies Limited, as well as Cable and Wireless. And also you've collaborated with a number of different kinds of companies in the role in which you currently serve as Managing Director of your own company. And I'm interested in, how do you feel when you hear all of these different kind of things that you've accomplished over time?
Very humble. Very humbled, because when you know exactly where you're coming from, you realize that weren't it for the grace of God and a bit of effort and a lot of people investing in you, you'd never even come close. So I'm really, really grateful.
I want to start by looking back at how all of this started out, because you're a child, I would say, of Clarendon.
That's right.
Yorktown. Tell me a little bit about growing up in that community.
Growing up then was basically no shoes, probably Avon, a shorts, no shirt, just running wild, having the fun of my life, going down to the river, Rarmina River, to catch janga or shrimp, and through a line to catch fish. We'll definitely have to go to church on Sunday with a little coconut oil on your foot, no shoes, and you're Sunday best, whatever that is. And however, we used to a large family. So
there were 13 of you?
Yeah, my mother have a total of 13 of us, my father 12. And at the time, of course, a couple of them died early. But like at one time there were like 7 of us, and we would, 3, 4 of us sleep in the same bed, throwing foot over each other, no fuss. Even if we fuss in the day, by night come, we're good friends again.
At the same time, your parents worked very hard to give you a certain life. A lot of children, but they ensured that all of you were constantly eating, for instance. Let's talk a little bit about the impact of your parents, your mother as well as your father.
All right, my father, by profession, he was a carpenter. He has a bike very early. He decided, when the 150 big head bikes were coming and he needed to get one. So he purchased one in 1961, to be exact. My mother was the accountant of the family. She runs the place. They had a little shop, grocery shop, that helps to feed the family. And we were just grateful that no matter what happened, there was always food on the table. We never go to bed hungry.
And you also talk about the kind of woman that your mother was like, saying that she was essentially, as you're saying, running the household completely, just completely in charge.
Yeah.
What kind of lessons was she teaching you?
My thing for my mother was be resilient. Don't give up. No matter how small the thing is, do your best with it. Let it work for you. And even though she didn't get the type of education she wanted, she decided that for one, she's going to work as hard as she could to ensure that her children got a good education. So she was very resourceful, and we're really, really excited to have had a mother like her.
Is that a function of those lessons, what she was saying to you, or what she was also doing?
Doing and saying, because my mother and I were extremely close. Remember when she died, everybody just say, go to Halford, that's what they call me, to get all the information for the funeral. So we're extremely close. She'd tell me about some of the difficult times in her life, how she managed to get through, how times when she just got married, how hard it was. And so there was a lot to learn from her. And then when you watch her using the little she had to make, sure that her family was well taken care of.
Your father at the same time, also quite hardworking, but you said your mother ran things.
Yes, in the sense that my father would ensure that money is there. So he's worked hard and he takes it to the accountant and said, here you go, work your magic. So my mother would ensure that, whatever is needed in the house was there that everybody is fed.
Now, for Jamaicans of a certain age, education was and in many respects continues to be everything. You know, it's always about sending your children to school. But at the same time, you were not reading until a certain age, until you were a teenager. So what happened there?
That's a good question. It's something that all of my life now I've been trying to figure it out. But what amazes me was my siblings before me went to preschool. And those after me went to preschool. But I never started any school until I was 7. And as a result, things catch up on me fast. So when I got to grade 5, I was 12. So they said, no, you have to go to secondary school. You know, by default, you have to leave. So I didn't go to grade 6. When I went to secondary school, I definitely started in the lower stream. In terms
this was Denby?
Denby.
Yes.
Denby Secondary School, now high school. And I struggled, really struggled to keep up. And then when I was in grade 9, they did an experiment. You know, it was a national experiment where they decided to put the slow students with a bright student to see if the bright student could sort of pull up the dull student or the slow student. After 6 months or thereabout, they decided, no, this is not going to work. The dull student, the slow student, is literally pulling back the bright student. And as a result, however, they decided to put by the bright ones. And lo and behold, you never believe it, Alphonso Grennell was with the bright student for the first time in his entire life. And it was just about then I became a Christian. And the transformation is amazing that took place then.
What kind of transformation took place?
All right, the thing is I started to read my Bible. You know, I remember I was trying to spell a word. And I remember that Romans 10 and verse 1 says, being ignorant of God's righteousness. I wanted to spell ignorant. So that was now my dictionary. You know, I just run there. You know, words cannot fully express how becoming a Christian then and started studying my Bible transformed my entire life. Because what it did...
And you were a teenager at this point?
Yes, I was a teenager. Mm-hmm. I was 16 when I became a Christian. But the number of people who got involved in my life because of becoming a Christian, like the preacher, he almost like an adopted father. He believed in me. He started calling me names that at my educational level, I couldn't even be anything like that. He started calling me Barrister Grennell, Dr. Grennell. And I was saying, wow, what amazing expression. I must can live up to something of this nature. So that also built my confidence and started to allow me to focus in a different direction, not seeing what I couldn't do, but see what I could do if I actually put in the work.
And I want to talk a little bit about how you went about putting in the work, but we have to go to a break. So we are taking a break now on Profile. We're back with you on the other side of these messages.